Hello lovelies, welcome to another episode of Some Delicious Foods. So today I'm going to be making the authentic Ghanaian okro stew for you guys. It's been a while I've been on here, and today I just thought to bring this recipe to you. So if you want to know how I prepare this sumptuous meal, stay tuned. So because I do not want this video to be too lengthy, I've already prepped my ingredients. So I have here my chopped okro, garden egg, tomatoes, and then onion. I want it in this size because I'm going to be preparing okro stew, and this is exactly how I want it. I also have my fresh salmon already spiced with some salt and then some seasoning cube, and then also I have my dry smoked fish. I have my bush meat smoked, which is a crantier, we call it grass cutter. That is what I've smoked, and that is exactly the protein I'll be using for this recipe. Okay, so over here I'm blending my fresh pepper, we call it here in Ghana papushito, and then I'm pouring it into my already blended garlic, ginger, and then onion. So this is exactly the ingredient I'm going to be using. You can see it's not a lot. I have my palm oil, I have my seasoning cube, I have my pepper which I've poured on my blended garlic, ginger, and then onion that I have refrigerated already. So let's get cooking. I'm adding my palm oil to my hot pan, and then I'll leave it for a while. I'll then go ahead and add my onion, my chopped onion, to my hot oil. So after some few minutes, I'm actually adding my chopped tomatoes to this. Some people will ask, why didn't I blend it? I don't want it blended because I want the vegetables to be chunky in my okro stew. So I'll add this, stir, and leave to cook for a while. So I'm actually adding my seasoning cube at this stage. I'll stir it and also leave it for some few seconds. It's actually smelling so good in here, trust me. So at this point, I'm adding my blended pepper, garlic, ginger, and then onion to my stew. And then I'm just going to add just a pinch of salt and leave it to cook. It's smelling so divine in here, guys, trust me. So I'm adding my protein, that's my dry fish, and then my smoked meat into my stew, and then I'll leave it to cook for a while. So at this moment, I'm just going to stir. As you can see, I'm not actually doing it forcefully because you have to take your time. Other than that, you would not get even a piece of your akusombo meat or fish in it. We call it here akusombo, that's the dry fish. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to be adding my fresh salmon to my stew. I actually did not add it earlier because, you know, it takes just some few minutes for it to cook, and if you add it at the beginning of preparation, I mean, it's going to overcook, and then if you don't take care, it's just going to be all over or shredded into pieces in your stew. So you wouldn't want to add it at the earlier stage. So this is exactly the perfect time for me to add my fresh salmon, and then stir it with care. I mean, do not even bother stirring it a bit, just make sure they are actually submerged in your stew so that all the flavors can enter, and then I'm going to cover it and leave it to cook. As mentioned, please, if you're stirring, you have to be careful because you do not want your salmon to shred into pieces in your stew. After some few minutes, I'm adding my garden egg, and then I'll leave it to cook for a while, and then I'll continue to add my other ingredients as well. Alright guys, so this is the perfect timing for me to add my okro. You can see I had actually chopped my okro round. I mean, you can decide to chop it anyhow you want, but this is exactly how I like my okro when I'm preparing my okro stew. Okay, so as you can see, when I'm stirring, I'm taking my time because I do not want my fish to shred into pieces in my stew. Okay, tell me if this stew is not looking yummy, it's not looking delicious and inviting. So you can actually serve this with banku. We call it here in Ghana banku. You can serve it with pounded yam, you can serve it with, I mean, anything of choice. Okay, so this is exactly how my okro stew normally is prepared. The last thing I normally add is my onion, chopped onion, because I do not want it to be so, you know, overcooked in my stew. I want it to be still crunchy when I take it. So this is a simple, very easy to prepare. Give this recipe a try and you'll never regret it because it actually tastes very, very delicious.